We're carrying on a fabulous day at World Horse Welfare, Glenda Spoon in Somerton. I'm with the lovely Claire Dickey, who is the manager for the centre here. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Thank you. You've got such a busy day today, so I really appreciate you taking some time out to talk to me, because I'd love to know what goes on in the insides of World Horse Welfare at Glenda Spooner.
Sure, so at Glenda Spooner Farm we're responsible for rescuing, rehabilitating and then rehoming several horses that have been rescued across the UK, predominantly with our location in the southwest. The horses that are rescued that come here come from the southwest, and we rehome to anywhere in the UK. So all of the horses and ponies that you see here will be looking for new homes once their rehabilitation is complete.
Now it's fabulous here because you have quite a lot of land, it looks like, and a brand new centre just to our left, which, what's that used for? I didn't know that you had a visitor centre, so actually anybody can come down and meet the horses.
Absolutely. You're right. We've got a brand new visitor centre that incorporates a bistro, obviously lots of information for the public, and also a fabulous indoor school. So what we'd like to think is it's the window to our work, so that the members of the public and our supporters can come in and really see what's going on and be in touch with what we do.
And also they can see what you're doing with the money, because I think that's really important. Is what I've got from the day is how kind everybody is and how much they genuinely care about the horses. And you do have fabulous facilities, so the money is being well spent on the horses. It's not being spent on admin or paperwork, or like we often hear about charities. Sure. We can actually see. Talk us through, because I love this. The planting a tree bit that you've got.
Oh yeah, so that we offer a trees in tribute scheme. Yeah. So someone can dedicate a tree to in memory of a loved one, whether that's a horse or a person or a dog. And obviously that's a lovely thing to do with the land here, the spare areas that we're not grazing. Obviously it's great for the wildlife, but it's also a really nice thing to do, is to be able to plant a tree, and especially in memory of maybe a horse, a horse of a lifetime that has given everything for you. It's a lovely way to remember them, and obviously the funds that are raised from that go directly back to helping the horses that are here in our care.
So how many horses do you think you have right now?
So right now we're on about 83. We're supposed to have a stocking level of around 65. We're really fortunate that we've got lots of land. We're about a 200-acre site, so it's not a welfare issue for us to have a few more horses on the site, but we're staffed to look after really and rehabilitate 65 horses. So it's a reflection of how dire the situation is with the horse crisis. We always say a genuine welfare case will always be helped. We won't turn a horse away if he's suffering, but up to 80 horses, and we don't offer long-term sanctuary. So all of the horses that are here will undergo a retraining and a rehabilitation process, and they'll then be rehomed. So we really try and promote rehoming, really increase awareness of rehoming, because for every horse that's rehomed, obviously that's an amazing success story for that individual horse. But not only is he then in a safe, loving, forever home, it frees up a space here, and that's the critical message, is when you rehome, you're rescuing a horse, but you're also saving a space
for someone
here to rescue another horse, so that there's not a horse out there somewhere that we don't know about that just gets put to sleep because he can't get a space in a rescue centre. That's heartbreaking. So if people are looking for a horse or a pony, or that they have room, they have time, they can consider taking another horse or pony, we really encourage people to look on the website, find out about what we do, find out about the types of horses we have for rehoming, because the only way we can rescue more horses is to have more space in the centre. So it really is that simple. It's almost one in, one out as best we can. So
you must be working at full capacity most of the time then, if it is one in, one out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that because more people are being horrible to horses? There are more welfare cases? Why is that, do you think, you're always full?
At the moment, Britain is in the grips of a horse crisis, really. That's the reality. There are more horses in Britain than there are good homes. There are hundreds of thousands of surplus horses across the country. Horses are incredibly cheap to purchase. I think most people would be able to go on to social media and find themselves a very cheap or probably free horse within a couple of hours. It wouldn't be a difficult thing to do, but often what's not taken into account is the upkeep and maintenance costs. To look after a horse is thousands of pounds a year, and the animals who are given away cheaply or free invariably ordinarily have physical, emotional, behavioural problems, or there's something very wrong with them, and to take a horse for free sounds like a lovely thing to do, but the costs involved to put that animal back to good, back to genuine good health, so that it's rideable and can enjoy a full life with his new owner is a massive financial commitment and a massive time commitment. And I think
people struggle with it. But we haven't got enough land, Claire, either. So there are all these horses that are being bred, and I don't think the UK has enough available land to be looking after them. So you get them strung on the side of the road.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's a common problem across the UK. It's a difficult thing to keep a horse. You need space, you need time, and you need money. And I think people have the best of intentions often when they take a horse, and the situation can deteriorate quite quickly. Half a ton of horse can be a difficult thing logistically to look after, and invariably those animals fall through the cracks and end up being rescued by a centre like ourselves.
And the babies, the little, I say the babies because they look like babies, but the Shetlands and the miniatures, it's a new phenomenon, isn't it? Let's get a horse because it's the same size as a dog and we'll keep it in the garden. You can't do that.
No,
and
absolutely.
I think the work that you do is incredible, and the charities are working very closely with government to try and conquer this problem. They work with farmers, don't they, throughout the UK to make sure that there is land available. So from what you do here, looking after the horses, down to the grooms, to the behaviourists, to the vets, to the physios, right up to, the guys at the top, Rowley, the chairmans, with all the other charities, I think you do a phenomenal job. So I'd like to say thank you to you. If we want to get involved, then if you'd like to get involved and you'd like to help, then you can donate. I think it's really important because the money is so well spent. It's not just about donating either, because you can also look after a horse by rehoming it. So if someone's interested in rehoming or donating, what do they have to do?
Go to our website. It will be the advice I give to everybody. So worldhorsewelfare.org, and that will give you all the information. So as you rightly said, donations, rehoming is a really critical thing. But if someone's not in a position to part with their money at the moment or take on a horse at the moment, there are so many other ways people can support us, through gifts and wills, or perhaps volunteering. Someone might have a couple of hours spare, so it all really helps. So there's lots and lots of ways people can get involved. All the information's on the website.
What about things like our old rugs? Because I see so many rugs going for £5 on Facebook, and I think, well, that's ridiculous. Why don't we donate them?
Absolutely, and we do have a second-hand tack shop within our new visitor centre that is entirely stocked by people's donations. All we ask is that stuff's in good usable condition and is clean. So that it's saleable, as it comes in, and any item that's donated, if we can use it directly for the horses here in our care, then that would be our first choice. But if it's a rug that's not a particular size we need, or a saddle, for example, that doesn't fit a horse that's here at the moment, we can sell those items, and all the funds raised goes again directly back to the horses in our care, and funding the equipment and the veterinary care that we do need. So it all helps.
Well, I've seen hundreds of horses here. Well, no, 83 horses here, but I've actually seen up close 4 horses, and the condition that they're in is amazing. You can see they're tired, they're worn. A couple of newbies came in, they're covered in mud, they've got a few scratches, and you can very easily tell a neglected horse by a horse that's rehabilitated and better. And it's lovely to see the bond that your staff have with the horses. They just love them to bits, and I just think it's beautiful to see. So Thank you again.
Thank you very much.
You're
Thanks
welcome.
for coming.
Well, I'm having a fabulous day here today. Getting very emotional, as you can see, dying to take one of the horses home with me, but we're going to show you a little bit more about what goes on behind the scenes at Glenda Spooner for World Horse Welfare.